And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning. We apologize for technical Wi-Fi issues. Our Wi-Fi connection may not be strong enough this morning, so we're trying to go hardwire this morning and see if that stays. Are we still red on there? Okay, we'll see if the hardwire works, and then that's maybe what we need to do from here on out just to make it happen. So we're back here with the All-Star Political Panel with Rick, Bruce, and Jane. How are you?
I'm well.
I thought I was supposed to be you here and you here, but that's okay. I just
scoot it over because I was sitting in front of your computer.
But that's okay.
You want to switch?
No, not at all. I'm okay.
I like sitting next to Rick, though.
I'm okay. No, I'm okay. I'm fine. I know.
I get your back a lot when I'm over here.
No, I'm fine. I'm just used to looking this way and being able. Now I'll have to look over here. Then I have to come back to you. It's okay.
At the break, we're changing. I don't like it over here, actually.
You don't?
No, I don't like it over here.
Well, you stay put.
You know what I don't like? I don't like that we got to watch this.
MSNBC?
JR was going to change it.
I think that's why the signal's all screwed up.
I think so, too. I think so, too.
By the way, I got a haircut.
I noticed you got a haircut. That's nice.
I'm practicing on people, and I'd like to practice on you. I've got some new little hair shear things. Can we do it online if I donate so much to so much?
We're going to talk about my haircut. You know what you guys, no, you know what you're doing right now? You're doing exactly, you're using a diversion of the real news. You're switching over. You are as bad now.
But it's not fake news.
No, you're as bad right now. Right now, you are as bad as like MSNBC.
That is the worst insult I have ever had.
That's what they would start a segment with, is Trump going to get a haircut? Is Trump, yeah.
All right, let's get back on track here.
Yeah, let's dial in.
No, you're the ones that started out with fake news. I'm sorry.
We're in for a ride today, guys.
I reckon.
Okay, let's get serious.
Okay.
What? Okay, here's a new segment. You know, I'll just invent a new segment all of a sudden. Okay.
Go for it, Chief.
Got a new segment coming, Amanda.
What upset you the most this week? All of the news out there, like, what can you zero in that has frustrated you the most this week?
That Strzok still has his security clearance. I mean, that's one thing that's frustrating. Plus, they still have, even if they don't fire them after all of this, how can they? That's very frustrating. So you can't fire them yet. You can't put them in jail yet, but you can at least take their security clearance away. They've what's that word? They have. I don't know what that word is. It's too early. This show is too early.
We'll do a Jane.
They've lost their credibility. Their honor is gone, and they don't need that.
We'll do a cocktail hour.
What in the news? Yeah, cocktail hour with the panel.
Yeah.
What in the news mostly frustrated you this week, Rick? I mean, Bruce. Bruce.
POTUS wants to know everything.
That frustrated you?
Yes, it did.
I did a dance. You mean the Obama wants to know everything?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's talking about the text message.
They got him.
No, they don't. That's what frustrates me. Nothing's going to come of it.
I want to double back. I agree with you. But how many times have we felt when we got up the next day that there was something that we got them, but what happens, right? I agree with you, but that frustrates.
The plan.
POTUS wants to know everything.
Yeah.
Trust the plan.
Right.
And he lied. I mean, he was on with Chris Wallace, I believe.
Yeah.
And he absolutely swore that he doesn't get involved.
I guarantee. I guarantee, Chris. Chris, how many times do I have to say it? I guarantee. Chris, I can't say it again, right?
Yeah, what frustrates me is the absolute lack of coverage by everybody under the sun except for Fox about all of the shenanigans.
If you're listening to all the undercover people that know what they're talking about, they know that you can't just go arrest them now. You got to follow the plan, or the country would go It would
tank.
go into flames. It would absolutely tear the cities down. They
Yeah,
have
you
to
gotta
go
follow the
very,
rule of
very
law.
slowly because it's going to be so devastating. And I said this here today, and you can mark my words. It's going to be so devastating. This world has never seen anything like this. You're going to see that. And they have to go very slowly. And just like they say, just be patient and trust the plan because they are on it. They are on it. I'll promise you that.
Okay. All right. Now,
What's frustrated you?
Yeah, you missed
Yeah,
Rick.
yeah, yeah. What's frustrating
No,
you?
you
No,
said-
I said.
well,
lack of coverage.
Well, you know, every day it's like Groundhog Day, and every day I wake up thinking today is the day that the media is going to have no choice but to come on. It's going to be that day, and we're going to turn on, and I mean all the media, and they're going to look at the camera and say, America, we've been lying to you all this time, and we have no choice. The evidence is so surmountable. It's so in our face. We have to come and apologize to America, and we can no longer run cover for the corruption. I keep thinking, today's got to be the day they're going to do it. Today's got to be the day, and it doesn't happen. But what frustrated me the most is, I think today's the day the Tea Party died. Tea Party's over. It's done.
I don't know why the Tea Party died.
It died. It died this morning at 6
budget
o'clock
deal.
when the House, it's over. The Republicans, and
But
there are, now wait a minute, isn't that gonna, Bruce, did I throw the button when you were there? Give me just a second, okay? The Republicans,
We can't help it.
the Republicans, okay, now wait a minute, the Republicans, there are some out there, some. But the Republicans just told us a better lie. They are liars. I am not as upset with Chuck Schumer today or Nancy Pelosi as I am the Republicans.
did they just blow the 2018
No.
elections, the Republicans?
No, no.
He actually said something nice about Nancy.
I did. No, I didn't. There's a reason.
I'll never forget
Wait a
that.
minute. Stay with Jane. I know you'll never forget. Jane,
I'll never forget that.
Okay, listen, come here. Let me explain to you real clear why I'm not as upset. You need the love bear? Put that over there.
I'm going to throw
Let me
it.
explain to you why I'm not as upset. Stop it. I'm going to say a bad word, and I don't on Fridays.
Come on.
Thank God.
Okay, I'm not as upset with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer as I am Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan because I know the devil. I know them.
Comrade Crumbcake? You're not upset with her?
No,
No,
I
you can put it
expected.
this way.
I did not. I know them. I know what they're going to do. I'm not upset that Nancy Pelosi went on there for 8 hours and, you know, her grandkid's birthday wish was to be a little Mexican. All right, I could care less. All right, right?
No,
and I
brown
could care
skin.
less. A brown
Guatemalan.
skin, you know, Guatemalan. All right. But anyway, I could care less. That doesn't bother me. I knew Nancy would do that, right? You knew Nancy would do that. You know Chuck comes out and lies on the camera and has a tear in his eye, right? I'm not. Okay, here's the thing. It's a word. They didn't let me down. I know who they are. They don't let me down when they
You
come
know
to the
who
camera.
McConnell is and
But
Paul
what I'm
Ryan.
saying is the
They're
Republicans.
snakes.
Yeah, but the
They're
Republicans. Where do we go now?
Well, we got a big problem.
Bruce, now wait a minute. Bruce.
Can I get my butt in now?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm not. No comment.
That's
Yes.
a one T
Don't
butt.
you-
Put
Don't
your
you-
butt right in
That's
it.
a one T butt.
Don't you think out of the ashes of the Tea Party, as you've written them off, something new will arise?
Okay. Oh, wait.
Let's get going,
Wait. All right. But I think it's going to take me all next week to explain why the Tea Party I feel is dead, and I go to Tea Party meetings. Wait a minute. Let me just say this. All right. Here, let me give you my credentials. All right. You got to have credentials if you're going to talk, right?
How long is this going to take?
So we all got to get our wallets out?
I got up and came
No,
in
you
here
don't have to
so
clear your
early.
cash.
Clear your what?
Nothing. Inside joke. Inside joke. Oh, I got to reel this in. You don't have to clear your cash.
I didn't know the site allowed that yet.
She said, "Clear your cash," and I'm counting 1, 2. How long before Bruce says? Hey, I will tell you the story later. Here's all right. Listen,
We're losing it here.
So
I'm taking over in a minute.
you remember the birth of the Tea Party moment. Remember Rick Santelli comes out of the Chicago Tax Exchange.
Yep.
And he comes out to the fountain and he throws tea in there and he threw a big fit, right? Right, remember that, right? So then 1 million supposedly people, because, you know, the park people said in D.C. said 50,000 showed up, and then they said 300, but 1 million people went to Washington, D.C., right, and made signs that said kill the bill and everything like that. And that was the 1 million people that went to Washington, D.C. that held signs. I was there. I went, okay? My sister at that time, her brother-in-law worked for AOL, and she lived 60 miles out of D.C. She lived 60 miles out of D.C. We went up. We all got together there. My sister, the whole family got together. Lisa, boom. We set up that night. We made our signs in the living room floor, kill the bill, read the bill, boom, with magic markers, poster board. We go down to the train station 60 miles outside of Washington, D.C., and we're wondering if anybody's going to go to this thing. Is anybody going to go? Right? Yeah. We hear about it. So we go to the train station 60 miles out of D.C., and we get on there, and it's shoulder to shoulder. That morning already, we were like, oh my God. So we get there, we're there, and we're marching, and we got signs holding up, you know, read the bill, kill the bill, all that. And last night on the floor, a Republican-led Congress passed a 700-page piece of legislation printed out at midnight that increased spending $400 billion, and only Rand Paul stood on the floor. Only.
Yes, he did.
And I will explain. The Tea Party, where are we at?
Well, I'm kind of.
I don't know if you understand where I'm going with that.
They've been dead for a while, though. They've been silent. They really just did a smear. They, meaning the opposition, kind of smeared the Tea Party. They sent in people with guns, took pictures, made them look like they were white supremacists. I mean,
right?
They really got
Exactly.
annihilated. I'm with Bruce. Why don't? I mean, you're hoping maybe something with a different name can evolve. It cannot be.
How upset are you over that budget deal this morning?
Well, now that I've learned more about it, I've been really involved with the memos. I haven't watched much about the budget.
Could we get an outline of the budget? Because I know someone's got that.
Someone's got an outline that explains it very well, and I'm trying to listen.
I had it up this morning. I was looking at.
I was sleeping then.
Go ahead, Rick. The domestic spend. Go ahead, Rick. Coming to you. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to set it up. The guy right here, Rick, with the new haircut. What's a cut like that cost?
$12.
$12. I could do that for $12.
$12.
Okay.
Depending where you go.
I'm telling you.
Depending where you go.
Huh?
That's right.
Depending where you go. Yeah, they're actually online making me an appointment now. They started a hashtag last week. So anyway, okay. Bullet points.
$300 billion in additional funding for defense and non-defense over the next 2 years. That's what encapsulates the budget. $300 billion increase. $165 billion in defense spending, 85 in fiscal 18, 85 in fiscal 19. I'm good with that. I'm good with the military. The sequestration is gone. I'm okay with that. Debt ceiling deadline suspension for 1 year. $6 billion over 2 years to combat opioids. Your favorite topic. $20 billion over 2 years for new infrastructure. Additional 4 years of funding for the Children's Health Insurance Program for a total of 10 years. An extension of funding for community health centers and a variety of other Medicare programs. Close to an additional $90 billion in funding for areas affected by natural disasters, including Puerto Rico.
That's because FEMA's out of money.
Yeah. $2 billion over 2 years for the National Institute of Health. That's the Cliff Notes version of the budget passed last night and getting ready to be signed by.
Are you okay with what they did? Yes or no?
No.
Are you okay with what they did?
With the military, yes. With the rest of it, no.
Okay, I'm patriotic. And I'm even no on what they did with the military. I'm patriotic. Don't you go throw no stones at me. Because let me tell you something. When the Pentagon can find the $800 million they lost, then we'll talk about giving you some more. All right? And you?
Ask me about the memos.
Okay.
Really, I haven't studied.
No,
this.
I'm with
sorry,
you.
I just haven't studied.
Let me go
so
back
I'm not
to
going to
the.
make.
Let me go back to
anything.
the Pentagon for a second.
All right, you're going to give you a whole memo segment because that's big, and I know you've studied that.
You know, the last three
Relax.
administrations never ever imposed an audit on the Pentagon. Whose fault is that? Not the Pentagon's fault. There's no oversight. There's no oversight done.
It's the whole
They just
thing.
started to audit now. The Pentagon.
The government is too big for their own britches. I mean, they can't do anything right. I'm reading a book now on the housing crisis. It's incredible how
How that
out of
happened?
control things were. They didn't even know what was going on in their own house.
They did.
And it's only gotten worse.
I agree with you, and if we had time, and let's do that later, because I don't want to come across that listen, there's certain things that I take caution with is okay, these sneaky snake politicians go out and yell military. I don't, let's get our flags and go out and say we support the military. We support our veterans. Now, because I do. I want to be careful with that. But do you understand? I'm not trusting them to be the ones to come out and wave the flag for us all the time.
Unfortunately, they're all you got.
Very valid point, Bruce. I mean, no, that was out of the park. Just watch that thing sail out because that was a home run. Unfortunately, but what are we going to do? Because I'm not saying, should there be increased military spending? Truthfully, I don't know.
Yes.
But I
Our
don't
ships
know.
don't even sail.
I agree.
Our planes don't fly.
They don't fly. We're going to
Let's
museums.
just
Okay,
fix
can we
this-
take
fix the stuff
the
we got.
military spending we have and actually make them fly?
Yes. We can fix it. It's just if they will vote to fix it. Listen, the bad guys go deep down, and I think it's like 75
All right.
Republicans and Democrats. That's got to get cleaned out before anything happens.
As I said, I don't want to come away. I do not want to come away thinking that I do not want to spend more on the military. I do not want to make our military more ready for combat if necessary. So I do support that, and I can see where some spending is necessary and increased spending. I just get a nervous wreck that of the people that are trying to sell it to me. I always get nervous of the people selling it to me. That's what it is to me. Okay. Memo. You're right. Let's go to the memo. Which one?
Oh,
which one?
There's 7. No, I'm joking.
No. I mean, the points are, they're just, in my view, they are just piling up all of these proofs, and they're letting a little bit out of time. We know that Valerie Jarrett is deeply implicated. Barack Obama's deeply in. Then we got the FBI. It's just crumbling down at the top. I have friends in the FBI down. I have a friend who actually is Pence's FBI. There, he's at his house. I mean, I know some stuff and people in the FBI and all of it, and they're just great. But the top is just so power hungry and it's corrupt. So the reason the media isn't saying, look, this is what's happening, except for Fox, this is what's happening, is they're all implicated. When you come down to it, it's all propaganda, and they're implicated in some of the more Pizzagate stuff, the media is, and they're going to be found out. They do not want this to advance, and that's why they're saying ridiculous things like they said this morning and yesterday. They don't want any of that to move. And believe me, just trust what's happening, and in 6 months, you're not going to know what hit. They're not going to know what hit them, I'll promise.
Well, I tell you what the memo, the first memo the Republicans released, the fact that they used false information
in the dossier
to secure a warrant.
Tried 3 times.
And it's not even the fact that they used false information to secure a warrant. It's the running for cover media, the running cover, not for cover, running cover media that infuriates me, because they're not that dumb. Everywhere, when you're in law enforcement, from the FBI down to your city police officer, you take certain oath. You swear that you're not going to stand before a judge, as from magistrate to federal judge, to anybody.
How about FBI director?
And wait a minute, you're not going to stand before them and lie to them about the facts. So when you go to get a warrant, it don't matter if it's, I know FISA warrant is different, but you got to have different people sign off. But when you go to get a warrant this morning as city police, Superior Court, federal court, FISA court, there's a judge that has to trust that you're giving them the information true and accurate to issue that warrant, no matter what level.
When you say the oath, you mean it.
Exactly. So whoever the law enforcement agency, FBI or whatever, standing before that judge said, I would like to get this warrant, here's my information. The judge doesn't take that and say, well, let me get 3 weeks to get back to you because I'm going to put a team of people on researching your research. They say, okay, you know, don't mess with me here. You know, is this true? And yes, this is true. We need this warrant. It's based on this. Here's our argument. Okay, we'll grant it based on your honor. Right? You understand? Mm-hmm. And to find out that we have heard for a year Russian collusion. Let's just put it like that. But the reality is the Russian collusion is on the Democrat side.
And that's becoming very obvious.
We have heard for a year obstruction of justice. The truth is the obstruction of justice is on the other side.
I have an analogy.
Go ahead.
The analogy, I'm trying to think of it as we go, but let's say you owned a bank, and I own a bank, I'm the president, and all of the board are my family, and every night we go into that safe and we take out a bunch of money in our purse or in our satchel. We're out here. No, we are everybody that counts. They're tellers and they're lenders, but no one's going to investigate us because we're the only ones that are in charge and we're taking the money out. And so the thing about it is that's the way the FBI and the CIA and the Congress and the House of Representatives and the President, until Trump got there, has been operating. We're going to be in here forever. Hillary's coming. We don't care if we go in there and cheat the FBI. They go 3 times. They get a FISA warrant. Heck, the judge that was doing the FISA warrants, the one that was kind of asked to leave on another, he's an Obamaite. So they thought they were just immune to anyone looking under the covers
above the law,
because they were the law, they thought. And then when Trump came up and did this, that's what he's facing. It's like, okay, they've sent a new president of the bank, and he's looking at all this and he doesn't know where to start because the whole family's in on it. They're all sitting there. Nope, you can't have when I got in that bank. We're not giving you that record. When I got in that safe, we're not giving you any of those records. That's what he's facing.
You know, that was a perfect analogy because I am. I'm not 100% on board with Jeff Sessions, but people think that, okay, Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, you just go in and fix things. Well, have you ever actually looked at the actual building of the Department of Justice? You know, it's 4 stories and it's as big as a city block, and you know, and there's, you know, an enormous. How many probably people work for the Department of Justice? Thousands, Tens of thousands. So you got to start sorting through there. Just same thing with your State Department. Same thing with your same thing with all the departments that we have up there. So your analogy is great. Just because you got a new president of the bank, Jeff Sessions, or you know, or Rex Tillerson, or somebody like that, they got to go in and they got to find out, hey, who is the teller in the far back that's actually cashing checks that shouldn't be, and that can take some time.
No, not the teller, the big family. The teller is the good FBI, but they don't know anything. They don't know when the president went into the bank in the middle of the night, but the timer tells you. The bank has a computer system, but they aren't going to give them any information. They know, but they're not going to let the people investigating know anything. They're holding back information. How is Trey Gowdy trying to get
Sean is doing a good job. Nunez is doing a good job. Trey Gowdy's doing a good job. There's several that's done a great job.
Their hands are tied almost.
What happens,
How about the Grossley memo?
Right,
yeah.
I think that's more damning than the other one.
It is, of course it is.
Blumenthal. I mean,
Sid the snake.
I mean, Sid Blumenthal. I mean, just
Sid the snake.
I love the Trey Gowdy.
You're warm. Yeah, you're pretty warm.
You're warm on that one.
You say, you might be pretty warm on that
Sidney
one.
Blumenthal? You're pretty warm.
Yeah.
He is so brilliant.
Going back to private practice.
What happens, Bruce? What happens? Do we get enough evidence to indict people? Do we get enough? Do we?
Yes.
Are
Sorry,
you,
Bruce.
are you Bruce?
I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. I'll be
No,
back.
you stay right here.
Hard to say because the way the MSM circles the wagons on stuff like this, it's really hard to imagine because we think we've been on the doorstep of putting people in jail before, and it hasn't happened.
What happens, Rick?
Man, I'm telling you,
I hope so.
yeah, I hope so. I'm with you. I mean, you get up every morning thinking, aha, I thought the first memo, aha. But, then they have their counterpoints and they just muddy the water. The next thing I read this morning is Mark Warner is chatting with the Ruskies, and he wants it kept hush-hush. And then Rubio covers for him saying, no, we knew this 4 months ago. Why didn't it come out?
What happens, Gene?
Need to know.
There are going to be indictments. People are going to jail. People that you never believed would. That is going to happen. They have.
Who's going to make it happen?
They have so much intel now that they're not even releasing. Now the NSA, I believe, is working a little with Trump, and they have information that would blow your mind. They're just waiting to do it because it's just so inflammatory. Is just an understated word. They're going to be indictments. Huge names are going to go to jail. Period.
I just don't know who's going to pull that
huge.
trigger because it's such an old boy network. Old girl network.
but I'm going to tell you, there's some people in there. There's a faction now at the Pentagon that I've always wanted to come forth, but they couldn't because their careers would have been ruined if they said one thing. I mean, it is serious.
Well, in my mind, you
down.
mentioned Pentagon. To me, it's almost a military operation.
I'm with you 100%.
That's what you call the shadow government.
I'm with you 100% on what the indictments. We got them ready. Everything's there. Everything's done. But then I got to go. I'm like with Bruce. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
It's got to be so slam dunk that even Corny Joe has got to admit.
Corny Joe, remember that?
I mean, I detest that man.
Is that Corny Joe or is that Joe Biden?
Joe, the big nose guy, Joe, Morning Joe,
Morning
Coffee
Joe.
Joe.
All right. We're not quite there, so we got about 8 minutes, so I won't want to waste no time. Bruce, what say you?
Last in the series.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Remember, we've been talking about the Saul Alinsky rules for radicals. The last two, we already did healthcare, poverty, debt, gun control, welfare, education, religion. Remove the people's belief in God from government and schools. No ideology or authority can supersede the power of the state.
There you go.
Right where we are. Class warfare. Divide the people into warring factions, wealthy versus poor. This will foster further discontent, animosity, and justify raising taxes necessary for the redistribution of income through social programs.
And we are rolling down the road.
8 big points, to
Obama
destabilize
did that, for sure.
our government. It's sad.
What say you, Rick?
How about some winners and losers?
Oh yeah, Rick started winners and losers last week. Okay, you got winners.
I still think the winner in this budget deal is going to be the military. Get the planes flying, get the ships floating, get everything working the way it should, and we'll still be the largest force in the world.
Okay.
Don't disagree with that.
The losers, the NFL. Viewership was down 7.7%. Excuse me, in the Super Bowl. Down from last year, and it's been steadily declining for a good bit during the season and during the Super Bowl. 7% down, that's a big number. That's a big number.
What say you?
Well, I think on the NFL side, I think that unfortunately the Eagles are losers. I rooted for the Eagles. And now they're saying they're not going to go meet Trump, right?
Some aren't.
3.
Then three of
so
them
far.
are, I mean, gee whiz. I mean, so that's a bad thing. The winners, y'all aren't going to agree with me, but I think the winners are this week with all the memos. The Patriots are the winners because it's coming out. I think
Not the Patriots football
Not the
team.
football
No,
team.
Not Bill
not the
Belichick.
Okay, well, you went from Eagles to
I
Patriots.
did. I
You
did.
did. We were trying to help you. We're reeling you
That's right.
back
The
in.
American people are
the winners.
Yeah, I think we're one
I like
up
that,
now.
Jane.
We're one up.
I like
We're
that,
getting
Jane. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, last week, I am becoming very fond of General Kelly.
Well,
Okay.
tell me more. I don't know about him.
All right, and I've been taking my time on this, but there's little things that he does, like the Dreamers. He implied that some of them may be lazy ass immigrants.
You think?
Remember, right?
Yeah, he did.
And I love that.
I love that.
But he inspired a new segment for my show throughout the week.
Not
okay?
Antonio, though.
And he inspired a new segment, and it's called my "You Could Go to Hell" segment. And he was with Sean Hannity, and you remember the professor or whatever that was talking about the military, and Sean Hannity asked General Kelly what he thought, and the first thing he says, well, I think he can go to hell, remember, right?
Yeah.
So we have started I have You Can Go to Hell segment, and we're going to have a winner every week of You Can Go to Hell. And my winner of the I keep saying that, You Can Go to Hell segment this past week was Howie Long's son, Chris Long.
Yeah.
All right. And you know what? Chris Long and his other Eagle friends could go to hell. All right? Because I'm going to tell you, Edwin Jackson of the ball that played for the Indianapolis Colts would probably love the opportunity to play for the Colts, win a Super Bowl, and go to the White House. But instead, he was killed this past week by Maynard. What's the Uber driver's name?
The drunk driver?
Huh? All right, but the Uber driver and Edwin Jackson was killed by an illegal that had been deported and back in here. All right?
Both of them were killed.
Exactly, both killed. Right. So I think he would love to have had the opportunity to win the Super Bowl and go to the White House. So you Eagles, you know where you can go. Now, the Patriots are the winners, not in football, like my friend Jane said. The American Patriots, you are the winners because it will come out and it'll continue to come out. I want to say this. I'm not opposed to military spending. I'm not opposed to the military having enough money to make our ships float and our planes fly. I support that 100%. But I just think it's interesting, and I'm so tired of their brainwashing, manipulating the daily story to see what they could get you to believe or what the crisis of the day is. Now, we can't come up with $25 billion because we'll blow a hole in the budget. It's useless, and they scream on the floor over $25 billion for border security. But in the middle of the night, we can find $300 to $400 billion on a 700-page bill and pass it right along. Folks, I am of the point there's nothing you can believe coming out of Congress right now, because I'm not a Republican. I want to be clear. The Republicans just told me a better lie. And now that they've lied so bad about debt, that they were fiscal, there's no such thing as a fiscal conservative anymore. They lied about the debt. They lied about repealing Obamacare. They lie. When Nancy Pelosi goes to the floor, you expect her to lie. Chuck Schumer goes to the floor, you expect her to lie. Dick Durbin goes to the floor, you expect him to lie. You expect that. But every once in a while, you'd hope one of our side would tell us the damn truth.
There are not many of them.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that.
There's a good analogy, Butch said that, about the $15 billion for the wall. You know how the Democrats say, it's that we can't find that, it's impossible. They had no trouble giving away $150 billion to Iran.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, $400 billion last night. They could find that. They could find 150. No, you're 100%. We could sit here for an hour and say, all right, here's this many billion. It's border security. Period.
Think about this. In all of that, they subsidize rum. What were the other subsidies? There's subsidies that are
NASCAR.
freaking car. And why don't they?
That was close. That was close.
Why don't
Watch the base. Watch the base.
Why don't they subsidize education? Why don't they pay teachers more so we'll have better teachers? Oh, that's
You need to hold the loving bear.
Okay.
All right, that calms you
Serenity
down.
Why don't they substitute teachers?
Serenity now.
Oh, let's talk Formula
We
One.
need to subsidize the salary of teachers, education, because they're dumbing down. Our kids are getting dumbed down. They're subsidizing rum, NASCAR. Give me a break.
I have one for you. There's a town in California that's going to get $1 million from a group, and they're going to pay people a minimum wage for a year. They're going to pick like 20 or 40 people, and they're going to give them a minimum wage for a year to see how it affects their self-esteem.
Oh my God. You're kidding.
Folks, it's Friday, and before the show leaves, before we leave with the show, especially this segment, because we do winners and losers, I want to do mine. And I want to give my winner, not losers, I just want to give my winners of the week, okay? My losers, God, you hear that all week long if you tune in, all right? But my winners this week, Amanda and Samantha, okay? Because let me tell you something, okay?
What'd they do?
I'm going to tell you what they did. I mean, Bruce, put up with me. There you go, Bruce. No, let me tell you why this is. Amanda's come on board. Samantha has trained Amanda, and they've worked together in the program. It's going great. The other day, and I want to throw Blair in there too. The other day, you know, next thing I know, Amanda, Samantha, Blair, they're thinking of new things we could do to get the viewership up. And, you know, hey, they're doing it. We're even going to start doing small little video clips of what's coming up in the morning that's going to go on YouTube and Facebook. We're gonna do some different live stuff that they're doing. I'm a little nervous about it, but they've asked me to trust them. Okay, you should. You see, that's what I hear. But they have done an outstanding job taking care of things, making things happen on a daily basis. We hit our technical difficulties from time to time, but what's going on with FYN TV, my shout outs to them and the entire staff. And as soon as we get back, we're going to talk sports with Jason Banks, Team FYN Sports, because we got guys wrestling down in Macon from 10 different schools, and Jason's ready to tell you some updates of the state wrestling down in Macon for high school. You guys good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Jane, you're right on the memo, 100%, and I'm with you. My hope is indictments. I'm with Jane. We're with Jane on indictments.
It was said here first, right?
I want to see who pulls the trigger.
And if I get very serious about the haircut, it's around $12.
I can get you done for 12.
All right.
There's a tip. There's always a tip.
All right. Calm down out there.
I'll do it for free.
All right, well, I've got a free $12. I'll tell you.
Do I hear 10?
No. Give me $100. I'll go get a haircut. Hey, I'll be right back with sports right after this.
You got to go to Atlanta for that. $100 there.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I've had